Welcome to this explainer. Let's dive right in. Because India's political landscape has a wild new player, the Cockroach Janta Party. If you've been anywhere near social media lately, you've probably seen this absolute swarm of insect-themed political satire. I mean, it's everywhere. What started out as just a random internet joke has seriously mutated into a massive digital movement. We're going to break down exactly how this happened, look at the sources, and figure out what this means for the future of digital politics and free speech.
So what was the spark for all this? Well, it actually started with an alleged courtroom remark. Back in mid-May, the Chief Justice of India was quoted comparing young people who use fake degrees to cockroaches and parasites. Ouch, right? Now, to be fair, the justice later clarified he was specifically talking about academic fraud, not the youth as a whole. But you know how the internet works. The damage was totally done. Gen Z users grabbed onto this dehumanizing label, and instead of just getting mad, they owned it. They essentially said, all right, if the system thinks we're cockroaches, we're gonna proudly be cockroaches.
And the scale of this thing, it is just staggering. Over 20 million social media followers in under 3 weeks. Think about that. That's a satirical digital party growing faster than traditional, heavily funded political campaigns. They even outpace the ruling party's follower count. It clearly tapped into something incredibly raw. But as those numbers exploded, the real-world implications did too, and this quickly became way more than just a trending hashtag. Let's look at part 1, Origins of the Swarm, and how this went from meme to movement. The timeline here is just crazy fast. On May 15th, you have that single comment sparking outrage. Fast forward to late May, and parody accounts are just exploding everywhere. Then boom, June 6th, the internet joke literally steps off the screen and into reality. Hundreds of young people, lots of them actually wearing cockroach masks, gathered at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi. The rally was led by the movement's 30-year-old founder, Abhijit Daipke, who flew all the way in from the US for it. Even prominent figures like climate activist Sonam Wangchuk joined in, along with various opposition leaders. Their main chant, "Cockroaches are coming, Dharmendra Pradhan is going." Moving on to part 2, India's youth crisis, unpacking the actual grievances and reality. What's fascinating here is the sheer irony they're playing with. To join the party, they joke that your eligibility criteria must be unemployed, lazy, and chronically online. But then you look at their actual demands, and they are fiercely specific and radical. We're talking no retired chief justices getting Rajya Sabha seats, a 50% quota for women in the cabinet, and even arresting the chief election commissioner under anti-terror laws if legitimate votes are deleted. Oh, and a 20-year election ban for any politicians who jump ship to another party. It's a wildly sharp manifesto wrapped in a joke. But beneath all the satire, there's a really deep well of frustration. These young people are protesting crippling economic anxiety and stagnant wages. A massive flashpoint was the recent cancellation of the NEET medical exam, which literally threw the lives of 2.2 million students into chaos. Our sources show this generation is just exhausted by inflation, ongoing paper leaks, and the struggle to find jobs. Imagine being asked by the government to tighten your belt, to save fuel, right while your career prospects are crumbling because of an exam fiasco. The disconnect between the state's triumphant messaging and the daily struggle of ordinary youth just became the perfect storm. Which brings us to the big question: why a cockroach? I mean, traditional political parties pick strong, majestic animals, right? Lions, tigers, eagles. But the cockroach? Well, think about it. A cockroach survives poison, it survives getting stepped on, it thrives in the dark. By proudly adopting this name, the movement is signaling that they survive despite the system, not because of it. For a Gen Z crowd feeling crushed by algorithmic pressure and systemic neglect, the cockroach has ironically become the ultimate, unkillable symbol of endurance. Let's get into part 3, grassroots or orchestrated subversion. We really need to analyze both sides of this, because there's a serious debate happening right now. Critics are asking a very valid question. Is this truly a spontaneous grassroots uprising of frustrated kids, or is it actually a highly orchestrated, deep-state political operation? Basically, are these just kids making memes in their bedrooms, or is this the calculated weaponization of internet culture? We're looking at two starkly contrasting narratives here. On one side, supporters firmly believe this is the pure, unfiltered voice of a generation that feels completely abandoned by both the ruling party and the traditional opposition. But on the flip side, investigative blogs and critics allege this is a sophisticated cognitive warfare campaign. They point straight at the founder, Abhijit Daipke.
Dipke isn't just a random guy. He's a seasoned political communications strategist who used to work within the Aam Aadmi Party's digital ecosystem, and he's specifically known for his expertise in meme warfare. And the critics point out some significant red flags. They argue the movement is deliberately trying to erode trust in foundational institutions like the judiciary and the Election Commission. Watchdog groups like the Legal Rights Observatory have actually flagged the party as a national security threat. They noted that the social handles were heavily operated from U.S. servers and that the memes were being rapidly amplified by Pakistani accounts. These security concerns got so intense that the government actually stepped in and ordered X, formerly Twitter, to block the party's account in India. Deepk, of course, hasn't taken this lying down. He's challenged it in the Delhi High Court, arguing it's a massive violation of free speech and maintaining that the movement is completely nonpartisan.
Finally, let's look at part 4, the future of digital politics, and what all this actually means for us. This whole phenomenon demonstrates a massive, powerful shift. For a hyper-connected generation, irony and memes aren't just jokes anymore. They are a fluent political language used to dodge censorship and express sheer exhaustion. Think about it. Traditional politics relies on being serious, authoritative, and hierarchical. Memes are the exact opposite. They are chaotic, fast, and totally decentralized. When the government tried to ban their account, it just triggered a massive Streisand effect. It generated even more memes about how a system with actual nuclear weapons was terrified of a digital cockroach. The laughter acts as a shield, but make no mistake, it is also a weapon. Some analysts are drawing parallels to the 2011 India Against Corruption movement. They warn that while meme politics is fantastic at capturing attention and channeling anger, without a solid, clear ideology, it risks just fading into pure cynicism, or worse, getting hijacked by the very established political machines it's mocking. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder. Regardless of whether the Cockroach Janta Party sticks around, what does it mean for our democracy when the youth feel that creating satirical, self-deprecating memes is their most effective and maybe their only tool for survival? Thanks for tuning in, and keep questioning the narratives around you.